I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they did it, but they managed to create a perfect spin-off TV series. Because usually, like a TV spin-off show, it's gonna be like, all right, it's gonna be pretty good, but it's not gonna be anywhere near the quality of the actual show. The only spin-off that I can think of off the top of my head that was like on par with the actual show before watching Gen V was Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul was the perfect spin-off series. But Gen V was also perfect. Every single episode was amazing. There was something new to learn about the world of the boys. Every single episode, something new to learn about the characters within this series, and they figured out a way to perfectly go from this show into season 4 of the boys, which is about to happen. Well, it's not about to happen, but whenever it happens, it's gonna flow seamlessly into it. And I don't know how they figured out how to do it, but they did it, and they got it done flawlessly. All of the new characters that we meet are great. Their lives, like superheroes' lives in this in the boys universe. People who have superpowers, their lives kind of suck. I'm not gonna lie, but these people who go to this school called Godolkin University, their lives are just terrible. They're just big like products. You know what I'm saying? They're not people. They're products. And Vought is trying to, they have like a top, like, I think it was like a top 10 list or whatever. But, there's like a top 5 list for sure at the school of like who's the best. And everybody's trying to like get on this list so that they can become the next, they can become the next member of the 7. And, the rankings change because of, who people are. And there's this one character named Jordan, and they can like transform into a man or woman, and they're also Asian. So Vaught's like, yo, they're like an Asian non-binary superhero, we can't market that, so they don't put them into the top 5. And they're basically just like walking products, right? And so when we start the series, we just think, yeah, they're gonna go to school, we're gonna see what like going to like a superhero school, or at least that's what I thought we're gonna walk in here, we're gonna be like, oh, this is what it's like to go to a superhero school. Our main character, Marie Moreau, she has like these like blood powers, right? And she can like manipulate blood and turn it into weapons and such. And when she didn't know she had powers, and like when she was younger, when she found out she had powers, she accidentally killed her parents. So she got sent to this like facility, like orphanage facility, foster care home thing that exists in the universe, right? And so, she gets accepted into Godolkin University. And, I'm thinking, yeah, we're just going to follow her story. We're going to see her, try to rise to the top because, there's all these top players. There's this one guy, Golden Boy, who's like basically Human Torch. And he's like the number 1. And I'm thinking she's going to like overtake him somehow and try to get her way into the 7 and, change her life and turn it around and finally, meet back up with her younger sister who thinks she's a monster because she killed their parents. No. That is not what this show is about. Episode 1, Golden Boy, the Human Torch, he kills a teacher. He kills a teacher in cold blood. And then you want to know what he does next? He blows himself up and commits suicide. He literally like jumps up into the sky and, he gets real hot and boom, he explodes. And we don't know why. And I think it was a great intro into the series, right? And so we go on into the series and like, in the first episode, the Golden Boy's name was Luke. He was having these like visions, right? He was having these visions of like his brother. I don't know if we knew it was his brother at the time, but like he was having these visions, and his brother was like telling him, hey, you gotta come find me. And so as time goes on, we find out that there's this place called the Woods, and it's like this underground facility that is underneath the school, right? And they're like, testing soups, I guess, is what they're doing. So we go in there and we free Sam. Sam is Luke's brother. We free Sam, and he's like a superhuman monster. Like he has super strength, but like it's like times 10. I don't know. Like his superpower is just like strong guy. He's big strong guy, and he hasn't really like experienced the world because he's been locked up in the woods. So like he's like a little baby, but like not, because he's like a superhuman teenager. So So we free him, right? And then things just they start to get revealed about the woods. And I think this is where the boy shines. And Gen V, but like I'm just gonna call it, you know, the boys, because like it's in the boys universe. This is where like both shows shine. You know, as time goes on, we get they unravel little secrets about the universe that we're in, and it's just really good. Like in season 2, when things started getting, you know, unearthed about Stormfront and who she really was, and how she was, you know, she was a yeah, and she was, you know, she was trying to kill people of color because she was. Yes. And season 3, you know, we get the temporary V, and you know, we find out that it makes it makes you die quicker, and you know, we find out that Soldier Boy is basically a superhuman nuke that, you know, takes out people's powers and whatnot. So in this series, we find out that the woods. Yeah, we found out that, yeah, they were experimenting on superhumans, but the leader of the school, I forget what her name is, but it's this lady, right? And she is not a soup. She is a human, and she's experimenting on soups, right? And so she tells the students that you are not here at this school to study how to become a superhero. You are at this school so that we can study you. This is a studying ground. She wants to study superheroes. You want to know why? Because okay, so get this right. You remember in season 1 when what's his name? Homelander like killed all those people on that plane. Her husband and son were on that plane. So she has made it her job to study superheroes so that she can figure out a way to create a drug that can take out superheroes. And she did it, right? Her and the scientist dude teamed up and created an airborne disease that can take out every superhero living on the planet, right? And so get this. You remember the lady that can blow people's heads off? She's running for vice president now, which is kind of crazy, right? And she's tricked everyone to think that she isn't a soup. Everyone thinks she's a human. And I think they do a really good job here with like the superhero politics, right? Because the soups, since Homelander is, you know, he's front and center now. He just killed a human. The soups, they're like, soup lives matter, you know, we don't want humans. And the humans are like, hey, we should like coexist as, you know, a people, you know, equality. And I think that you could like make an argument that is, you know, that could be seen as a thing that is happening in the real world to an extent. Anyway, soups are like, soup lives matter. Humans are like, all, you know, everybody should just live equally as, you know, as in inequality, right? And so she's doing this whole campaign rally, and you know, she's talking about equal rights for humans and superheroes, and you know, soups don't really like her because they think that she doesn't care about superheroes and whatnot. And so then she meets Marie, and I told you that Marie, she could manipulate blood. Now, earlier on in the series, right, in the season, I think it was like episode 2, right, Marie is talking to this dude, and this dude like kind of like, you know, he does something to her mind, and somehow she ends up in his room, and he's about to, you know, essay her, and he has his thing out, and she sees it, and she explodes it, right? And so I told you, right, Vice President lady, she can explode people's heads. I did not think about the correlation until they meet one another, and Vice President lady is like, hey, use your powers and look at my blood. And she's like, I can't do that. And she's like, yes, you can. Look at my blood. Then Marie's like, oh, you have compound V in you. She can explode people's, you know, thingies because they have the same powers. If she wanted to, she could explode people's heads. And that is just like, that's a huge revelation for me. Because, I mean, we've seen before that people can have, you know, 2 people can have super strength. 2 people can have laser eyes. We've seen it before. But now 2 people have the ability to manipulate blood. It's basically the most overpowered superpower ever. Except for this one girl in the show. Her name is, what's her name? Her name is Kate. If she touches someone, she can make them do what she says. Which is actually the most overpowered thing ever, right? Because Luke, earlier on in his life, found out that they were experimenting on Sam, but the leader of the school kind of like somewhat like kind of like adopted Kate because like her parents, you know, she accidentally made her brother run away forever, and they never found her brother, and her parents hated her, so they locked her up in a room. So the little principal of the school kind of like adopted her in a way, and she was forcing her to do her bidding, and she was like touching Luke, telling him to forget about his brother, and that's why the visions were like kind of like cloudy, right? And so basically we get to the like it's so good. I'm rambling, but like I feel like I'm explaining things really well. I just got to talk about it, right? We get to the end of the season, and so Kate finally realizes that, you know, they were giving her these drugs, but they were nullifying her powers. So she stops taking the drugs. She's full power mode now, and she goes up to the principal lady, and she tells principal lady to kill herself, and you know she does. And so now Kate is going to lead a superhuman rebellion and kill all the humans at Godolphin University, because yeah, it's not just a superhero school. Like, humans can go there too, right? So yeah, since I need to figure out this lady's name. What is lady's name? Shetty. Her name is Shetty. All right, Dean Shetty. Since she, you know, tricked Kate into doing her bidding and, you know, brainwashing her friends and making her forget about, you know, making Luke forget about his brother, and she made everyone forget about the woods, because earlier on in the series they found out about the woods, but then she forced all the friends to forget. It was a whole thing, right? Since Dean Shetty made her do all that, she was like, hey, all humans are bad. And so Sam, since he's been cooped up in a cage this whole time, he also thinks that humans are bad. And so they're like, hey, let's go free everyone out of the woods, and let's go kill all the humans that live on campus. And so they start doing it. They're just killing humans. They're killing humans left and right. Boom, boom, bam. We're killing every single human in existence. And it's crazy. And, you know, and the leaders of Vought are there, and they're trying to escape, and Marie and Jordan, and there's this other, you know, this black dude named Andre. He's there. He was a cool character as well. He had a lot to do this season, but I didn't really talk about him as much because it didn't really matter. Anyway, we're all fighting. It's a big fight. It's superheroes trying to stop the superheroes from killing the humans, and the superheroes are killing humans, and we're all just, it's a big just kill fest, right? And so then at the end of the series, I keep saying series but season, but at the end of the show, right, last episode, things are going crazy, right? Kate, she gets in a fight. Oh, so Marie and Jordan, they're kind of like a thing, I guess, now. And then they kind of like did like this whole team combo whatnot nonsense, and like they were like, oh my gosh, like I love you, like oh my gosh. But then Kate shows up, and she's about to touch Jordan and tell Jordan to do something bad, and then Marie blows up Kate's hand, because she has figured out how to blow things up with her powers now, right? And so then who shows up but Homelander? So they called Homelander in to stop the nonsense, right? To like stop the heroes from killing the humans. But Homelander looks at Marie, and he's like, hey, you just injured one of your own kind. Why would you do that? So he knocks her out. And so now at the end of the season, Marie and Andre and Jordan and this other girl who I forget her name, but she can get big and go small like Ant-Man, they're locked up in a cage somewhere. We don't know where they are. And the vice president lady who blows up people's heads, she now has control of the virus that can kill all superheroes, and she killed the scientist behind it. So she's the only one who knows about said virus that can kill all superheroes. Everyone else think it's gone, but she's the only one that knows about it, and she's trying to run for vice president, and Homelander is trying to take over the world. And in season 4 of The Boys is going to be great. All right, I feel like we're going to get that thing from the comics where, you know, Homelander's going to take over the White House and kill the president, and it's going to be great. Because Billy Butcher's about to die. Butcher's gonna die season 4. It's coming. He only has a little bit while left to live, and he wants to kill Homelander. And I think, you know, and Soldier Boy is still out there too. So it's there's so much stuff that they can do with this series, and I for one am excited. All right, I just had to talk about it because so much happened and so much was revealed, and the writing was excellent. The show's a 10 out of 10, and I just had to talk about it. You know me, I love The Boys. I love The Boys. I love Gen V. It's so good, man. It's fucking diabolical. You know, Billy Butcher. If you enjoyed Gen V, you know, let me know what you thought down in the comment section down below. Feel free to leave a like, because it really, you know, helps out the channel and such. And, you know, subscribe and do all that. Share with your friends. And yeah, if you're still here watching this video, thank you for tuning in and staying with me to the end. Yeah, my outros always suck because I just start rambling about nonsense, but I love you and I hope you have a great day, and peace out.